All right, I'm going to bring in Michael Geoghegan. He's a political analyst. And Michael, you and I were speaking yesterday. Now we're officially or so just about a day away from the big debate that's happening tomorrow. What are you expecting as the leaders are going to be facing off tomorrow night? What are you looking for to stand out?
I'm looking to see if Andrew Scheer is able to land anything on Justin Trudeau, because given where the polling numbers are headed, the Liberals are moving back into majority territory. So, barring any kind of scandal coming out on Justin Trudeau or some other political calamity, that's where that momentum seems to be gathering steam. So it's really up to Scheer to perform really, really well in this if he's going to try and stop or reverse that.
Now you've got 6 leaders that are going to be there, all having a podium, all having a say. Do you expect we're going to see quite a bit of sparring, or do you think the moderators are going to be able to keep things tame so that, viewers can hear exactly, what the issues are and what the responses are going to be, or is this going to be a slugfest?
It remains to be seen. Of course, Canadians, we're noted for our politeness, but at the same time, we also don't mind, throwing out the elbows in a hockey game. So it'll be interesting to see, how rough and tumble it is. But certainly there's a lot of people that need to make an impression on that stage. They all do. I mean, the NDP has pulled ahead of the Greens. Elizabeth May is going to want to try and fight back. We've got Max Bernier's party. He's going to try and make a splash. And then like I say, there's the two-way race for first position. So I think it's going to be a challenge for the moderators to keep things under control, because a lot of those leaders are going to be looking to try and land some punches. Yeah,
certainly, and landing punches, and punches involving credibility as well. We know credibility has been a big issue this election. Who can you trust? Who wants to take you forward, et cetera? That certainly is going to come up between Scheer and Trudeau.
Absolutely. And Trudeau was able to dominate Scheer in the French debate because of his, he's very fluent in French as well as English. Whereas, of course, Scheer, he should be able to hold his ground from a language standpoint. So he's got to deliver some payback, or he's going to continue to fade into second.
I want to bring up the issues that are going to be covered in tomorrow's debate. We've got a board here we're going to bring up here. So we're looking at affordability and economic insecurity, national and global leadership, Indigenous issues. We know that's high on the docket. Polarization, human rights and immigration, of course, environment and energy. Taking a look at the issues here, Michael, what do you expect will stand out in this debate tomorrow?
Well, again, it remains to be seen, but certainly, there are those such as the NDP leader that are going to go after the Liberals in terms of the infrastructure issues on, there's a lot of First Nations that haven't had safe drinking water for years. They've been in a Flint, Michigan type of situation. So he's certainly going to go after the liberal leader on that. In terms of what the viewers are watching, they're going to be looking at every leader on 2 criteria. Who is going to make it easier for me or less difficult for me to make ends meet, and who do I have the most trust and faith in their willingness and capability of actually delivering if they get a mandate? So I think it's with those kind of bread and butter pocketbook issues that a lot of Canadians are going to be watching these debates.
They are, and we know that there is still a double-digit percentage when we're looking at the polls of undecided voters trying to figure out who they want to vote for, but also, are they going to vote in this election at all?
Yeah, that's a huge question. Certainly, the more young people who come out and vote, the better parties like the Greens and the NDP do. But there's others that are, as you said, they're looking around. And if none of the leaders inspire them, we might have a significant percentage of them that simply don't turn out to vote. Yeah. I mean, in the United States, the largest group are those that simply do not vote in presidential elections, et cetera. And we're headed down that same path. So hopefully most voters out there find a leader that they're willing to, take the time and trouble to mark their ballot for.
I mean, as you mentioned there, Michael, the younger vote, the millennial vote could be very key in this election. Michael Geoghegan, always a pleasure chatting with you, our political analyst. We will chat again soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Meanwhile, Scheer is taking a hammering. Speaking of the polls, this after a rough week. He said he's personally opposed to abortion. There was also the controversy over the fact that he didn't tell the truth about being a licensed insurance broker and, of course, admitting he has a dual Canadian-American citizenship. So let's bring up some of those numbers again. The latest Nanos poll for CTV News and the Global Mail. Taking a look at preferred prime minister, you can see there Justin Trudeau, the Liberal leader, in front with just over 34% of the vote. Andrew Scheer down quite a bit compared to that number there with 26% of the vote. The Nanos research chair, Nick Nanos, was analyzing the numbers on CTV's question period earlier. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Scheer has taken a dead heat on the preferred prime minister tracking 7-8 days ago into an 8-point gap where he now trails Justin Trudeau by 8 percentage points. So bad news for Andrew Scheer. It's been a distraction for him. And right now, Trudeau has the upper hand as preferred prime minister.
And of course, performance during the debate tomorrow is going to be key. Looking at the other two leaders, just over 11% of those surveyed preferred NDP leader Jagmeet Singh as prime minister. Almost 8% were picking Green Party leader Elizabeth May. And you can see the other numbers there from Maxime Bernier at 2.5% and Yves Blanchet at just over 2% there. You can watch the 6 leaders square off at the federal leaders debate. That's tomorrow, Monday, October 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on CTV, CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca. We'll have full coverage for you all day tomorrow and into the week.